You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
I'm Smiley the dog. I am a mutt. I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley. I have a cat, too sweet, the travel kitty. I have a good girlfriend, Angel's really pretty. I have a pony and we share a big horse. We have a big yard. Yeah, we have to, of course. I have a pool. In the summer I stay cool. To a fountain, live in the mountain, live high on the hog. Need to be a spokesdog. I'm Smiley the dog. I am a mutt. I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley.
Woof and super smiles, everybody. Welcome to a super smiley adventure on Pet Life Radio, which is the largest pet podcasting and Wi-Fi network in the world. I'm Megan Blake, here with Smiley, my giant mutt and spokesdog for throwaways. We are right in the middle of the holiday season, and we all want to have a wonderful time with our furry friends, and part of that is keeping them safe with all that great holiday cooking and decorating and guests and all sorts of new things that come into our pets' environments at this time. So Smiley thought the perfect guest to enlighten us would be his friend, Dr. Annie Harvelitz. Dr. Annie founded and is the top dog at the Animal Wellness Centers in Los Angeles and is on the Advisory Council of Veterinarians for the Humane Society of the United States. She has an innovative approach to caretaking our pets, and she may be doing the Super Smiley Flash Mob coming up. So we are so happy to welcome Dr. Annie. Hey, Dr. Annie.
Hi, Megan and Smiley. Thank you guys so much for having me on today.
We're so happy that you're here with us and talking about all the things our pets can get into over the holidays. Not only are there things like food and decorations, but we have all kinds of things like candles, snow flocking, things that we may not even think of. So Smiley is waiting to hear all about it from Dr. Annie. But first, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Smiley, can you wait? Good boy.
Sit, stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley. Must rock.
Is the coast clear?
Yes, let's go.
Are you sure they went to Petco?
Where else would they go?
Oopsie.
Calm down.
I smell presents.
Go to PetLifeRadio.com/Petco and get $6 off your order of $60 or more and up to 40% off hundreds of holiday items at Petco. PetLifeRadio.com/Petco.
Uh-oh, step on it.
Okay.
Oh, not on my tail.
Petco, where the pets go. Dyson.
The new Dyson Animal Vacs are powerful bagless upright vacuums for homes with pets. Air muscle and radio root cyclone technology generates the strongest suction power to powerfully remove dust, dirt, and pet hair from the home or car. To order your Dyson Animal Vac, go to PetLifeRadio.com/Dyson. PetLifeRadio.com/Dyson to order your Dyson Animal Vac today.
Dyson, music to your ears.
This year, Americans are expected to spend a jaw-dropping $36 billion on their pets. From lighted leashes to high-end spa products, the discriminating pet owner can find just about anything to pamper his or her pet. Hi, this is Michelle Fern. Join me every week for Best Bets for Pets, where we'll talk about the latest pet products and talk to the companies that make them. Best Bets for Pets, every week, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
And we're back on Pet Life Radio, a super smiley adventure. I'm Megan Blake, and today we're here with Dr. Annie, the founder and top dog at the Animal Wellness Centers in Los Angeles. She's on the advisory board for the veterinarians with the Humane Society of the United States. And here's a fun bit of information. She's also the vet for Ryan O'Neill's little dog, Mozart. Ryan and Mozart were just on our show talking about his TV debut on the Oprah Network. He's a cute little dog, isn't he, Dr. Annie?
Oh, we love Mozart. Mozart's at the Animal Wellness Centers a lot, and we're always very happy to see him.
And you do such a great job with all the animals over there. I know you have a lot of fans over there, both human, canine, and feline, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, cats and dogs. We also see the occasional chicken.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so interesting. Yes, I go to shelters a lot and I see an occasional chicken at the shelters also. That's so wild. But anyway, we're back here today. We're here today to talk about having the perfect holiday season with our dogs. But the holidays bring with them lots of things that our dogs and cats can get into, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a season for families. And there's no better part of your family than your pet, your dog and cat. And I definitely think that they can enjoy the holidays just as much as we do. We just have to be a little bit careful with the decorations we choose, the food we choose to feed them, and making sure that they're safe and happy for the holidays too.
Yeah, that's really great, Dr. Annie, because you've already broken it down into two categories, the food and decorations. And those are really huge categories. And Smiley's here, and he wants us to get right to the food part. So can you talk to us about the delicious things that we're cooking, and the dogs smell it all the time. They want some. But what are some of the things that our dogs just should not have?
Definitely the dogs, everybody knows about chocolates. Avoiding anything that has chocolate in it is good because, it can be really bad. Everybody knows about that one. Some people don't know about onions. Onions can be really bad for dogs as well. And even things that are cooked with onions, the stews and things that we're making during the holiday time. Onions actually cause red blood cells to break apart, which, sounds kind of scary. And when you know what it does, sometimes it makes you more likely to avoid it. So no onions. Also grapes. That's another one that people don't know very, very much about. But grapes can actually cause kidney problems later in life. And that's something we see in a lot of dogs as they get older. Their kidneys start to shut down. So staying away from grapes and raisins is really important. And there's a lot of cakes out there with raisins in it. So let's not give them any fruitcake.
Right, and also oatmeal raisin cookies. I love oatmeal raisin cookies. They literally are my favorite cookie, and they're around all the time. And even if you just drop a raisin on the floor when you're cooking, you need to be very careful. Maybe you're not giving your dogs treats, but there may be, remnants from your cooking on the floor, so you need to be very, very diligent, right?
Exactly. Some dogs are so sensitive to raisins, it only takes a couple. It only takes 2 or 3 before they get sick from it. So you really have to be careful about cooking with raisins. It's tough because the dogs are always sitting there in the kitchen just waiting for you to drop something, right?
They are. I always say that Smiley is always waiting for the food to fly off the counter and land in his mouth, because Smiley, he doesn't steal things. He's very well mannered. He just hopes it's going to fly across the room right to him.
Yeah, they hope that they can stare at you long enough that maybe you will just, stop thinking about what you're doing and put your hand down and give them some or drop it on the floor. You know what would be a really nice thing to do? When I cook, and I know I'm cooking things that I don't want my dogs to have, I'll keep something that they can have. So if that raisin drops or that grape drops on the ground or the cookie falls or anything, I quickly have an alternative. Like, hey, no, let's eat this instead. Let's have your treat. Look, Smiley, we can have a treat instead. Or, one of my dog's favorite things to eat are carrots. Carrots
Yes.
are great for dogs.
Smiley loves
So I'll
carrots.
have a bunch of carrots. Smiley loves carrots too?
Oh, he loves carrots. We have horses. Everyone knows we have Starfire and Minnehaha, and we buy those giant 50-pound bags of carrots. And whenever I give the horses one, Smiley's sitting there with that cute little look, like you said, like, I'm here too, and he loves carrots.
So when I'm cooking, I'll have some carrots on the counter with me. And if something falls and, I really want to make sure that my dog Lucy doesn't get it, I'll throw her a carrot or give her a carrot to distract her from it. It's a nice little trick. Keep the good foods around to use as an alternative.
That's a wonderful, wonderful idea. And another thing that's bad is fatty foods like turkey skin and the turkey drippings. As humans, we might think, oh, this looks so yummy. I'm just going to pour some of this over their kibble. But that can cause pancreatitis, right? And all kinds of things. Tell us about that.
Oh, it's horrible. It's been a tradition for years and years for people to bring home doggy bags. You go out to dinner and have a great steak dinner, and there are a couple pieces left over, and you say, okay, I'm going to take this home in my doggy bag. And there really could be nothing worse for your dog, unfortunately, than the scraps that we have left behind. Because a lot of times it's the fattier meats. Just like you said, the skin of the turkey, it's fatty. And whenever dogs get fatty foods, they have a tendency to get pancreatitis, which can be life-threatening, especially if it goes untreated. So definitely avoid giving table scraps during the holidays. It's really not worth it. Stick to the things that are really healthy, the fruits and vegetables. that's really what we want to see your dog eating over the holidays.
Right. And you mentioned carrots are great. Smiley and Angel, they like broccoli and string beans as well. Those are good too, as long as they're not cooked in fat with onions, right?
Yes, as long as they're cooked in a way that's not fattening. You don't want to give your dog things that have a lot of butter on it or a lot of oils. People think olive oil is a better oil, but it's still very fattening, and it can be fattening for your dog. So fresh carrots, broccoli, green beans, celery is really nice too if your dog will eat it. I have a couple dogs, and one of my dogs, little Maggie, she loves eating celery. I think it's because of the crunchiness of it.
Oh,
But
that's a good idea. I haven't tried that.
foods.
I like that. And then also just plain rice, right? Without the, like you said, without the oils, without the butter. Sometimes I make a casserole. I'll put just broccoli, carrots, and a little bit of lean hamburger in there. Oh my goodness. And Smiley and Angel, they think that they've just died and gone to heaven. Does that sound good to you, Dr. Annie?
Yes. That sounds great to me. I'll be over for dinner, actually.
You're welcome anytime. And this one kind of just goes without saying. This next thing, alcohol. I just never, ever, ever give your dog alcohol, right?
Definitely not. And especially wine. We have a lot of wine around over the holidays, and people have parties, and there's wine left over in the glasses sitting around the house. Wine is made from grapes. So it can cause the same kidney issues that you can get from grapes and raisins. They affect the animals a lot more than it affects us. And a lot of times things that we eat and things that we drink, we think it's okay for the dog to have it as well. And it's not. Their systems are a lot different than ours are. Even large dogs like Smiley, he's still a lot smaller than we are.
Right. That's a very good point. So if we're being very diligent, but we see that someone's left a glass of wine around or an oatmeal raisin cookie and you see your dog eating it, how alarmed should we be? Do we just watch him? Do we take him right to the vet? What do we do, Dr. Annie?
I think if you see your dog eating something like a raisin or a grape, then it's probably good to go to see the veterinarian. If it's something like a chocolate chip cookie, tiny doses of chocolate is not bad. A lot of times it'll cause vomiting and diarrhea before it causes more severe symptoms like nervous system problems. But if you want to be safe, I think the best thing to do is to contact the ASPCA Poison Control Hotline. It's a great hotline. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And, I usually have magnets that I give out to my patients, owners, or you can just write the number up and put it on the fridge. But it's always good to call the ASPCA Poison Control Hotline.
So, Dr. Annie, can you give us the number to the ASPCA Poison Control so people can jot that down right now?
Sure. It's 1-888-426-4435.
Very, very good.
Animal Poison Control Center of the ASPCA.
Great. And of course, they can also call their local vet if it's during business hours and ask them. But in general, what I think I hear you saying is that if they eat a little bit of turkey skin by accident or a little bit of chocolate in a chocolate chip cookie, that's probably okay. You still should check it out. But something like raisins, alcohol, wine, that can be extremely serious. And you really need to be kind of diligent and get on that right now, right then. Is that correct?
Exactly, Megan. You got it.
Okay,
That's right.
good. Very good. And I love your idea about having the healthy treats sitting around. Smiley recommends the carrots. He's over here going, paws up to the carrots. Yay. Okay, so let's go on. So our next category is decorations, because we all love to make our houses look festive and like the holidays. So, oh my goodness, the decorations, they bring new curiosities to smell and investigate. And here's the problem. They might chew them and swallow them, right? So tell us what we should look for.
Well, it's definitely good to look for pet-friendly decorations. I think the decoration that has caused the most problems for my patients is tinsel. The tinsel on the Christmas tree. It looks beautiful, it's sparkly, it's fun to play with, and especially cats just love to play with it. And they wrap it around their little paws and eat it, and that can cause a lot of problems for their intestines. Because anytime a cat or a dog eats something that is ribbon-like or a string, then it wraps around their intestines and it can cause a lot of problems. It can be fatal if it just sits the wrong way in their intestines and causes enough damage. So when I was a kid, we used to have tinsel on the tree all the time, and once I started going to vet school and I learned about how bad it is, I don't even use tinsel anymore.
Right.
It's just not worth it to me.
Not only the tinsel, but it can be anything that's of a string-like nature, right? Some types of garlands. The dogs might eat that. The cats are very attracted to that. But like you said, any tinsel or string-like object can ball up in the intestine and they can actually rip it and cut it internally, right? That's the problem.
Yeah. I don't want to be too graphic, but literally any sort of string-like thing can rip the intestines, results in just some horrible problems. But, I mentioned tinsel because it is so shiny and sparkly, they kind of like to go to it. But any kind of ribbon, the ribbon that you use to wrap the presents with, that's another good one. They love to play with that and eat it and put it in their mouth. It's not really about the holiday season, but also dental floss. It's really bad for animals.
That's really good point.
This is something that's good to know, all year round. But I am very, very careful with dental floss because that is just the ultimate small string that can damage intestines. And I've seen dogs and cats get it stuck around their tongues. They've needed parts of their intestine removed, all from dental floss.
That's really good to know. And this whole show is like that in that we're talking about holiday foods, holiday decorations, but these are things to watch out for just in our entire lifestyle with our animals, right?
Yeah. And you do, over the holidays, you do have a lot of visitors, a lot of people in the house. It might be something to, let them know to be careful of those things. Or maybe get the kind of trash cans that have the locking lids. So, as different people are in the house throwing things away that it's not a usual routine for them, they may be going into the trash more around the holiday season and picking stuff out. And it's good to have those lids that lock.
Right, and be safe around the trash cans. Bones, we didn't mention bones when we were talking about the food, but we even put our bones back in the refrigerator and then make sure that we take them out, when we take out the garbage, because we don't want to take any chances that our dogs will eat bones. So that's something else to think about. Just put it all in tin foil and put it, lock it away in the refrigerator until you take it outside. But then back to the decorations, there are all kinds of things. There's glass decorations, anything that will break into sharp pieces, and you might think plastic's good to replace the glass with, but if it's one of those hard plastic decorations that'll break into pieces, that could be damaging to dog as well, right?
Yes, especially young dogs. They love to play with it. And dogs, they don't really know what is a toy for them and what is a toy for their people. So something that you may think is just this benign thing that you're hanging on a tree, a little dog, sees that, moving around and waving around, they think it's their toy. So they're going to chew on it. And it's probably a good idea, if you can, when you leave your house, keep your pets confined away from the tree a little bit.
Yes, that's a very, very good idea.
Especially if you have a new puppy or new kitten. The holiday season is a time where everybody likes to get new puppies and new kittens, and they will absolutely love playing with Christmas trees. And the ornaments can break, and if they ingest a piece of glass or, an ornament bit, that can be really bad and make them sick. Also, just the water in the Christmas tree. There's a lot of bacteria that grows in that Christmas tree water. And dogs don't know that they're not supposed to drink out of that.
Yes, you're right. They don't know that. And we should avoid tree preservatives in the water and sweep up all the pine needles that are around the tree. So, and also another biggie that I think is to secure the tree so a big dog won't inadvertently knock it over. So secure the trees, avoid tree preservatives, watch out for the pine needles. Oh, and also the decorative lights and electrical cords. It seems like almost everything that we put out.
The list goes on and on. Yeah, the list goes on and on. That's why I'm saying really the best thing to do, especially if you have a new pet because it's the first time they've been around it, you don't know how they're going to react to it. Try to keep them away from the Christmas tree when you're not watching them. You don't want a puppy unattended by a Christmas tree.
Oh,
so many
definitely
things
not.
They can get into.
That's right.
Even the tree itself, honestly. Even the tree itself, because I actually did surgery probably, I think it was 2 years ago, on a dog that ingested part of a Christmas tree.
Oh, my goodness.
And we ended up having to, we had to remove part of the intestines just from the Christmas tree.
And like you said, the most important thing is to be aware of these dangers, to keep your dog away if you can. And here's some more dangers that people don't even really think about. Angel hair is made from spun glass. The artificial snow flocking, that can irritate their respiratory system. And if they eat it, that can be very, very dangerous. And little fasteners like tacks, ornament hooks, staples, rubber bands. So like you said, Dr. Annie, just try to keep your dog away. And one way that I do this is I think that there are 2 magic commands for dogs. The very first 2 I teach my dogs always is sit, stay, and leave it. And once they know that, of course, a puppy, like you said, won't know anything. But once they know that and they know which toys are theirs, which toys are not theirs, then that really helps control the environment. Don't you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah, you got it, Megan. I feel pretty secure that Smiley's going to be safe for the holidays.
Smiley's a good boy. He and Angel and Toot Sweet the Travel Kitty, they're doing really, really well. Oh, you know what? I thought of something else. There's so many things, but I'm just always very diligent about looking for these things. Potpourri, incense, simmer pots, all of those aerosol scents. I am sensitive to those. Now, you know a dog's hypersensitive snout is going to be a lot more sensitive than mine, so just be aware of these things. Think of yourself. Try to pretend like you're a dog. You get down low on their level, and what are they seeing? What are they going to smell? What are they going to want to drink out of, right?
Yes. Tea tree oil is something we see problems with dogs. They can actually have some neurologic problems, so don't rub any of these oils on your pets. And definitely think about the fact that they smell things a lot more intensely than we do.
Right.
For sure. One other thing that we haven't mentioned yet is mistletoe.
Oh, yes, the
we
plant.
We all love mistletoe. Yeah. Keep it up high because dogs, if they eat mistletoe, they can have vomiting and diarrhea. So it's another one that they shouldn't really be around. But usually mistletoe is for kissing, right? You want to stand underneath it. So hopefully you have it high enough that the dog can't get to it.
Yeah, then you just stand under and give your dog a nice little smooch under the mistletoe. That sounds good. Smiley would like that one too. Yeah, so I think also during the holidays we bring in poinsettias and all kinds of decorative plants. And generally speaking, I don't think you need to memorize the entire list, but if you bring something in and you see your dog is attracted to it and is eating it, put it up high and just remove it. Don't take a chance on it. Don't you think that's a good rule of thumb? Just move it away from him.
That's a good rule of thumb, yes. A lot of these holiday plants can cause gastrointestinal upset, so they have vomiting and diarrhea. And nobody wants that during the holidays.
No.
So I think it's good to keep them away, yeah. Cats, especially, I like to throw them into lilies.
Yes.
Are extremely toxic to cats, extremely. I don't even think cat owners should have lilies in their house. They're that bad. So some of these plants, like poinsettias and mistletoe and a lot of the holiday plants, they cause vomiting and diarrhea, so you really don't want your pets eating them. But when it comes to lilies, it can cause kidney failure in cats. And you definitely do not want to have that in your house if you're a cat owner.
No, that's a really, really good tip, Dr. Annie. And Smiley's telling me it's time for a quick commercial break. I can't wait to come back and hear all this really great information, how we can keep our pets safe during the holidays. So we'll be right back. Good boy, Smiley.
Sit, stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
I'm Smiley the dog. I'm Super Smiley. Let's rock!
It's the holidays at PetSmart, so come one and all. There are hundreds of gifts for pets big and pets small. Toys only at PetSmart, so special and new. They'll love the gifts. You'll love the value. Hurry to PetSmart today for your very best friend and save 30 to 50% before the holiday ends.
The holidays are just around the corner. Go to PetLifeRadio.com/PetSmart and save up to 30% on Pawsome gifts for the pets and pet people in your life. Toys, collars, leashes, PetSmart gift cards, treats, and more. So shop early and save money. Go to PetLifeRadio.com/PetSmart today.
Love your pets but wish their medications were a lot less expensive? They are at 1-800-PET-MEDS. You'll not only save on flea and heartworm medications, but on prescriptions for arthritis, incontinence, thyroid, and more. And you get fast service, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Plus, our licensed pharmacists ensure accuracy, monitor drug interaction, and more. See why over 5 million people have trusted their pet's health to 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. Call now or order online.
Go to 1-800-PetMeds.com/adventure, ADVENTURE, to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more at PetMeds.com.
Howard Would you like your business to reach out and invite in our audience? We have a brand new trademark concept called InfoSeeds. InfoSeeds are short 20-second seeds of information about your place of business, practice, or service. Is the best, most cost-effective way to invite us in. We only have a limited number of slots left. For more information, visit the website
PetLifeRadio.com.
Click on sponsorship information. There you can listen to a sample of InfoSeed. Remember, only a limited number of opportunities are available.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
And we're back on a super smiley adventure with Dr. Annie from the Animal Wellness Centers in Los Angeles, talking about keeping our pets safe during the holidays. We've been talking about environmental things to look for, like decorations and food, but one thing we don't always think about is the emotional stress dogs may experience. Like humans, dogs thrive on good diet, fun, exercise, and on balanced routines. And they also pick up on their humans' emotions. And our holiday stress alone may be enough to upset our dogs. What do you think about that, Dr. Annie?
It's true. It can be very stressful, whether you're going away for the holidays and leaving your pet with a friend or in a boarding facility or in a kennel, or if you have a bunch of people coming over, having a party, that sort of thing. It can be very, very stressful for your pet.
Right. You just mentioned that a lot of guest parties, or if their routines are disrupted. So I think it's very important to try to keep their routines stable, keep their walking schedule stable, if you can do that, right?
Yeah, you definitely want to give them a little bit of alone time with you. You know, if they're used to your walks, you know, most people would probably go off to work, come home, walk the dog, and I could bet money that that dog has been just waiting all day for that walk from you. And so when you don't do that over the holidays, they really feel that absence. They miss it. So, you know, be sure to remember that, you know, your dog's still around and needs, you know, a little bit of your attention too, or else he's going to be sad. We want everybody to be happy during the holidays, he or she. And also, when you have people coming over, you know, when there are strangers coming over and new people in the house, you don't know how your pet's going to react to them. It's the most important thing you can do is make sure that your pet has a safe zone, a safe haven, where if it just gets too overwhelmed with everything going on, they can go in their little safe zone. It's especially important if you have kids over, and letting them know, you know, this is Smiley's room. He likes to go in here and relax, and when he comes out, you can play with him again. You know, saying things like that to the children would really be good for the pets.
I love that idea, having a safe place, like their own little condo areas, the way I like to call it. I think that's a fabulous idea, Dr. Annie. And also, you mentioned children. Sometimes dogs aren't necessarily socialized to children, or maybe even elderly people who have walkers or wheelchairs. So make sure that you introduce your dog to the different types of people that are coming over that they may not normally relate to during the year, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, anything new is scary for an animal. And for those new puppies that everyone gets for the holidays, the new pets that come into the house, it's really important to expose them to things early. So if you have the new puppy, it's good for them to see the elderly parents with the walker or the little kids. It's good for them to be around it, because when they get exposed to things at a young age, they're going to be so much better at it when they experience it when they're older as an adult.
Right. But we do also want to add that if you're showing a puppy something, if they do seem like they're afraid of it, you don't want to push them. You want them to like it, to be a positive experience. So maybe expose them a little bit, then they go to their safe area, then expose them a little bit more, give them a treat with it. Make it all a happy, fun thing, right?
Dogs and cats pick up on our energy all the time. And as long as we're happy and remain positive and try to be as stress-free as we can, then they're going to be happy and remain positive. And yes, every new experience, we need to do our best to make it a positive experience.
I love that. That's good advice for people too, Dr. Annie. I like that one. That was a good one. Also, when guests come over, you mentioned unmonitored doors, opening and closing with people going in and out. And another, I mentioned training earlier. I think one of the top first things on my list is training your dog that he has to have permission to go in and out of doors, or that he has to wait for you to go first. That'll stop all the door darting. But if your dog isn't trained for that, or there just isn't enough time, he's not picking up on it because he's just too excited, then just really make sure those doors are secured, right?
Yes. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea to keep them safe and keep them close to you. And if you need to use a leash, then certainly that could work. I like the idea of having someone assigned looking after the dog. It's because especially, the host and the hostess of the party going to be really busy making sure all the food's out, everyone's happy. And a lot of times they're the dog owners. And, at the end of the party, you realize, I haven't seen my dog for a while. Where's Lucy? So I'll treat them a little bit like I would treat a little toddler or a small child, where I'll make sure that somebody's looking after them at different parts of the party.
That's great advice, Dr. Annie, because after all, they are our pet family. And during the holidays, we humans might overeat, overindulge, overparty, and overstress. Remember, your dog is part of that mix, and we can help him through it by removing dangers from his reach, bringing him into activities without overstressing him, and keeping him on his regular diet and exercise routines. And I mentioned earlier that Dr. Annie may be dancing with a Super Smiley flash mob. And this is a very exciting flash coming up because LA Animal Services, overseeing the Los Angeles animal shelters, has invited the Super Smiley Flash Mob to bring its happy campaign to their shelters. Pawsome! We think pet adoption should be rockin' and the only thing people think of when they want to add a pet to their lives. So this event will be December 17th at the East Valley Shelter in LA at 1 p.m. But if you miss this one, there'll be many, many more. So go to supersmileyflashmob.com to see our latest compilation video from the Flash Mobs for pet adoption that we've done all around the country since May. Smiley narrates this video and tells his story from his perspective, of course. And thank you again, Dr. Annie, for joining us on a Super Smiley adventure. And before we go, always our important shout out to Toyota's Pet Safety Initiative. Smiley makes it simple. Buckle up, harness up, super smile, and enjoy your adventure. Thank you again, Dr. Annie, Director of the Animal Wellness Centers. We wish you the very best of luck with all your patients.
Thank you guys so much for having me on today.
From Toot Sweet the Travel Kitty, Angel, Starfire, Minnie Haha, and Super Smiley, and me, Megan Blake. Have a wonderful, safe holiday season, and as always, woof and super smiles.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.